So when I'm doing working out and I have to write down the working out, what should I write down then in that sort of in that like, sort of situation?
Well, you don't have to write the working out, but what you could do is let me just do something. So if you had 2x squared minus 5x plus 3, your working out would be, if you like, a equals 2, b equals minus 5, c equals 3, but that's unnecessary. I mean, all you'd have to write is x equals answer or x equals, like, uh, so this is one mark up here, and then this is one mark here, and there's no marks in between.
Oh, sorry, I had to get a mark for like the working out. Then.
No,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, it would be like, what's the square root of 2 to 3 decimal places? You just put it in the calculator. It's not something you should do. Okay, let's see what you remember. Gradient of this line. How do you get it?
We'll have to do 5 minus 7 over 4 minus 2.
4 minus 2. Yeah, that goes in the calculator. You get the answer. How about this?
Okay. Okay, so does that mean I need to do a minus 5
Mm-hmm.
over yeah, over 4 minus 2 equals to minus 1,
Mm-hmm.
and then that will be a minus, or should I say a plus 5 equals to minus 2, and so a I think is equals to minus 7.
Okay, and I'll just put in the whole thing in my calculator. Alpha equals minus 1. Shift solve. Let's go for lucky number 7. And was the answer minus 7?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, again, don't be afraid to use the solver in the calculator for these questions either. Let's see. So work out these gradients. We'll just do. Let's see. Let's do the second last one.
Okay. So I'm going to do 2b minus 2b over 7b minus 3b,
Mm-hmm.
which will be equals to 4b over 4b. So will it just be equals to 1?
Yeah. That's it. Hold on. Okay. Yeah. How would you do question 6?
Is it just the same, or I have to just sub in the into the fraction and then make it equals to 2?
Yeah, and I picked that because it's tricky to do.
Yeah. So 5 minus 2 over 2e minus 3, and then equals to 2, and then you do 5 plus 2 equals to 2 brackets 2e.
Would you want to try doing it in the calculator?
Okay. So 5 minus 2. Yeah. So when I've made it equals to 2, what do I do then? What do
Shift solve. So shift calc.
oh, right. Yeah, I got x equals to minus.
Press equals again.
Yeah. Oof. Something looks wrong here. I got x equals to 0.25, so I think I've probably written something. Oh, no.
Correct. X equals 0.25.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. Or a quarter. Same thing. And so that's why it makes your life much easier to do these that way.
Yeah.
Try question 8.
Okay, so I'm guessing I need to put x in, don't I, instead of g here.
Yeah. Always you have to do that.
Right. I got 0.25 for that one as well.
0.25 was it?
Yeah,
All right, I believe. Press equals again.
I just deleted it. Sorry.
You. Does pressing up achieve it or anything?
I don't think so.
No, it doesn't. That's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Okay, this is what an exam question looks like. All right, let's do this exam question.
And so, I got 2.44 times 10 to the power of minus 54.
Press equals again.
Okay. No, it's not working out for some reason.
What do you do now? So, does it look like? Did it look like that?
Yeah.
So -2, -3.
I got to the minus 1, I think.
And then did you do shift solve?
Yeah. I'm going to try once more, just to see if I...
Okay, and you can follow the things on the bottom there. So I've got them down the bottom there. Fraction button, -2, -3, alpha, right bracket.
It came back, I cannot solve. I'm not really sure what I'm doing.
Okay. Hang on. Press equals. Oh. What was your initial value?
It was like 1,000 or something stupid like that. It was
Can you? Are you able to press left? Press left and you can edit it, or did you already press something else?
No, I think I can edit it. I think.
You can usually just press left or something. You can edit it. It depends on your initial value. So I think what might have happened is your previous answer might have been like 0.4 or some value of x where it's dividing by 0.
Right.
So when I do shift solve, I tend to just choose like 7, just some simple number. And in this case, it gave me 2. And so, yes. So this question, how many marks is it worth?
2.
Yeah. So this one is the method mark. And then a equals 2 is the accuracy mark. And so all the other stuff doesn't get you anything. If you ever get a situation where it's like can't solve, it's probably because it's dividing by 0. What can help is if you just do like the initial first step. So let's say you multiplied both sides by the denominator, so there is no denominator, and then put that into the calculator.
Right.
That can be helpful. Any questions with that?
Don't think so.
Okay, but this is the stuff to get good at, because once you're good at that, then it comes up so many times where you have to solve an equation. Okay, any idea how we do this?
So okay, so I'm not sure where to start this question off.
So L1, its gradient is minus 1 over 5.
Yeah.
And it passes through 0, 3. So L1 is a straight line.
Yeah.
What do you know about L1, or how could you write it?
Do I have to graph for it or something, or
Say it again.
do I have to draw like a graph for it or something, or?
You could, but M is, how would you draw the graph? Gradient is minus 1 over 5. Passes through this point.
So I know that one of the coordinates is 0, 3. Oh. So does that mean that if I put like so y minus 3 over x minus 0 will be equals to minus a fifth? Or
That's true. The much more common expansion of that would be y minus 3 is equal to minus a fifth x minus 0. So that was what you'd get if you multiplied both sides by the denominator from your one.
right.
And even more common still, y equals mx plus a. Y equals minus a fifth x plus 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that one with the gradient, that's because we've been doing gradient a lot, and I'm just throwing it in. That one with the gradient is another way of writing the equation of a line. Have you seen this like y minus y1 equals mx minus x1?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, we'll worry about that when we come to it. Okay, so this is line 1. The other one is line 2. We want to find where they cross over. How do you do that?
So do I have to solve for L2 to make it equals to y? To make the y the subject, though.
So you could sub one into the other, like equate them.
Oh yeah. So if I put minus a fifth x plus 3 into 4y.
Yeah, so you could rearrange it, or you can just do it directly like that.
Okay, yeah. So will it then become 3x minus 4 brackets minus a fifth x plus 3 plus 7 equals 0.
Yes. Now we're going to see the benefit. Try putting that into your calculator and solving that.
Okay, so I'm not sure if I got like 1.31, but I'm not sure.
Let's take a look. Shift, solve, lucky number 7. Roll the dice. There we go.
Yeah, okay.
Hold on, they snaked us. Find the exact coordinates of P. They want this as an exact number. So 1, well, that's an approximate number. All right, looks like we have to solve it the old-fashioned way. How do we solve it?
Is that we'll have to get into a quadratic?
Yep, but it won't be a quadratic, I don't believe. It'll just be a linear.
So do I need to just do minus 4 times that bracket?
Yeah.
So 3x, and then it'll be plus 4 over 5. Um, 4 over 5x plus 12 plus 7 equals 0.
And what is minus 4 times plus 3?
Minus 12.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it'll be, so 3x plus 4 over 5x minus 5 equals 0. And then if I if I had 3 plus 4 over 5x, it'll give 19 over 5x
Yep.
Minus 5. And then it'll be 19 over 5x equals to 5. And then will it be x is equals to 5 divided by 19 over 5?
Yep.
And then that'll be 25 over 19.
And press SD.
Yeah, that's the same answer we got earlier.
Yeah. So, we've checked our answer. That's not a bad way to check it. They wanted exact, so they foiled us doing that. Is that 4 marks?
No, because we need to find y now.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just sub in 25 over 19 into y equals minus a fifth x plus 3?
Yeah.
And then that'll be and that'll be 52 over 15. Or 52 over 19, sorry.
And what press SD for that one? So, sorry, we want x. We found x, so that's times the answer plus 3. 52 over 19. So actually, although it gave it to us as a decimal, hold on. Oh, I think it's too late for me to. Okay. Yes, it's too late for me to retrieve it. So 52 over 19, that was the answer?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Whoops. 52 over 19. And y equals 52 over 19. Okay, any questions there?
No.
I'm up to something. Let's see. Yes, what is this about? Do you know?
So. So did collinear mean they were in a straight line or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Um. So I'm guessing that I need to. I'm not sure how to start a.
The method for doing these is if they are on the same straight line, then they must have the same gradient.
Yeah.
So the gradient of AB must be equal to the gradient of BC.
So do I have to work out both gradients then to get to P?
Yep.
So if what I have to do 0 minus 2p over um, minus 5p plus 1
Mm-hmm.
minus 3p minus 3.
And I'm just going to put that in the bracket.
Yeah. And then do I have to write out the same thing for BC?
Mm-hmm.
And so and then I'll have to make them equals, won't I?
Yeah.
Okay. And then so 8p minus 5p.
No.
Sorry, minus 0. Or minus 0, sorry. Or plus 0. No, minus 0. Or leave the word doesn't really matter. But
Yeah. Whatever.
and then 0 minus 5p plus 1. And then I just make that equal, don't I? Oh, yeah.
Yes, and the minus 5p plus 1, what do you have to do with that?
Make that plus.
And what would it become? Simplify that denominator, what would it become?
Oh, it'll just become 5p plus 1.
There's a little trick. Because that is x1, it's in a bracket, so it'll become 5p minus 1. They both change sign.
Okay.
So in the same way that I put the first one in a bracket, just that whole, if there's two or more things, just put the whole thing in a bracket, so you're just subtracting the whole thing.
So that'll become 5p minus 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
What would you do next?
Yes. So yeah. So would I then do times both denominators by the opposite sides?
You could, but technically you could put the whole thing in the calculator and use x instead of p.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna do that. So,
Okay, I just want to mess around with this previous one a second.
I got P as 5.
Sounds good to me. P
Yeah.
is equal to 5. So this only gets you one solution. So sometimes, like quadratic, there might be 2, cubic, there might be 3, quartic might be 4. They said the value of P, perhaps P can be 0, kind of. Yeah, so maybe 0 is another valid answer, but they kind of said it's not 0. So they said there's one answer. We got the one answer. Happy. And then part B.
So the gradient of the line through A, B, and C. Do I just need to um do I just need to simplify one of the 0 minus 2p over minus 5p plus 1 minus 3p minus 3?
Um, yeah, which one is simpler to? Which one is easier to simplify?
Probably the other one. 8p minus 0 over 0 minus 5p plus 1.
Yep.
And then now equal to 8p over 8p over 5p minus 1.
Okay. What do you get?
Um, I thought that was the gradient.
Like, what's the answer? Press equals.
So 0. I just got 0.
I think it might be 5 minus 5 over 3. Minus 20 over 13. I'm not as good at doing it in my head. Yes. What did your thing simplify down to?
8p over 5p minus 1.
Yep. And so 8 times. What? Did you sub 5 for P?
No, I didn't know I had to.
Yes. So P is 5, and so you then sub that in.
Oh, right. Yep. So I just got 5/3. So I'm not sure what happened.
5/3. That's what I was expecting. But I think. What's in your calculator right now on the bottom?
5, and then bracket 5, and then close the bracket, and then it's just minus 1.
Let's see. So if we expand this bracket out by minus 1, we get 5p minus 1. 5 times 5 is 25, 24. Yeah, should be the same. It's just some little thing. It's the minus sign. Maybe I'm putting it in wrong. Let's see. So the way I got around it was I just subbed so wherever there's a p, I just put a 5 in a bracket.
Yeah.
And so I don't even have to simplify it. Oh, I'm wrong. You got the answer I was expecting. I put in, oh no, plus 1. Yeah, that's what it is. Oh, why is this happening to me? Hang on. So 0, where is it? That one was 0 minus 5p plus 1. And when we expand that bottom thing, we get 0 plus 5p minus 1, which simplifies down to 5p minus 1. And when you multiply that 5, you get 24. And what I'm getting, and so minus 24, what I'm getting is 26. Minus 26, I don't know. It's just a little thing with plus 1 or minus 1. You're right. I think I did something wrong with my double bracket here, but my way of going about it is just I don't have to simplify it. I just sub it in a bracket, but maybe sometimes it helps us simplify it a bit.
Yeah.
Because putting the whole thing into the calculator can be tricky, although it worked for the p equals 5. Any questions there?
No.
Okay. I'll have to find the answers for these. Let's see. Yes. Okay, let's try it.
Okay. So do I need to sub in minus 4 into y and sub in 0 into x?
Yep.
And so it'll be
Or simpler, y equals mx plus c.
yeah. So I just need to put in minus 4 equals to equals to 2/3 brackets x. Oh no, brackets 0 plus c.
Yep. And what is 2/3 times 0?
Nothing.
So what is c?
Oh, minus 4.
Yeah. And so if it's x is 0, then you can just... But you get the same answer either way. I just noticed it. And what are they asking you to do there?
Find an equation of L in the form ax plus by plus c.
Yeah, so basically no denominator, no fractions.
So does that mean I just need to make it into... Do I need to make y equals 2/3 x minus 4 equals to 0?
And say it again, sorry.
Do I need to make y equals 2/3 x minus 4 equals to 0?
Yeah, that'd be the first part.
And so do I need to then... So will it just be minus 2/3 x plus y plus 4 equals to 0? And so do I just go on to b now?
They want... you're actually correct. However, I think the question should have said where a, b, and c are integers. So how would you make it so there's no fraction? There's no over 3.
Do I then need to do 3 plus 2x or something like
that? Times everything by 3.
All right. So, which will be minus 2 plus 3y.
Yeah, don't forget the x.
Oh, sorry, minus 2x plus 3y plus 12 equals 0. And is that the answer now?
That's the answer, yeah.
Okay. And then for B, oh, sorry. And so, do I need to do the discriminant here or something like that?
And how would you do that?
Would I do minus K squared?
That's you you only do the discriminant after you bring the two equations together.
Oh, right, okay. Um, oh, do I need to use the 0 minus 4 coordinates for this?
That only goes through one of the lines. These are two different lines, and we're told they cross over at something and -2.
So, I'm not,
Before you can do the discriminant, you have to bring the two together.
do I need to sub something in or something?
Yeah.
Um, do I need to sub in minus 2 into y?
Yeah, go for it.
So, 3, oh, 3, so I need to do 3p minus uh, k minus 2, k minus 2, plus 25 equals to 0. And so 3p plus 2k plus 25 is equals to 0. And then,
Problem is you've got two unknowns.
yeah. Um,
Both lines intersect at that point.
so does that mean I need to make those equals to each other?
You could, or you could do what you just did to L2 to L1.
So sub in those coordinates into L1.
Yeah.
Okay, so um, so for minus, I need to sub in p minus 2 into minus 2x plus 3y plus 12 equals 0.
Yeah.
So minus 2p plus 3 minus 2 plus 12 is equals to minus 2p.
Hold on. It's equal to 0.
Yeah,
And how many unknowns in this one?
1.
Yes. And so the L2 had a K, so that's why we weren't able to solve it. But this one had no unknowns. And so what's next?
So, uh, is p equals to 3?
I'll take your word for it. And what do you do with that?
You write down the value of P,
Okay.
and that's equals to 3. And then I need to sub that in to find K.
Do it. Yeah. 3.
And so to find the value of K, I need to do. Do I just need to do 3 brackets 3 minus K brackets minus 2 plus 25 equals 0?
Yep.
Is K equals to minus 17?
That's it. And are you using calculator or are you just solving it manually?
No, I solved that. I didn't use the calculator.
All right. So using the calculator both times gave me the same thing. Yes. Any questions there?
No.
Let's see. So you would have gotten the equation of the line anyway. I just noticed that this is 0. When the x is 0, that's just the c. And so y equals mx plus c. That's the m, that's the c. Make it equal to 0 like they asked. And usually and traditionally, my guess is on a real exam paper, although this is the ones that they're saying is the ones, they will say where a, b, and c are integers. So, but maybe they won't, maybe in this day and age with calculators. Yes, part B, you had the right idea of subbing this coordinate into this one. The problem is this already had an unknown, so we had to sub it into the first one, which had no unknown. That gave us one thing, and then we use that into the other one to get the other. I thought we were going to have to make these equal to each other and solve it, but the reason why we didn't was because actually they already gave us the coordinate, or half of the coordinate where they intersected, and that's why we didn't have to do it that way. Yes, okay. Show that these can be. How do you do this?
So, do I need to do 4 minus 3 over 4 minus 2 is equals to 7 minus 4 over 10 minus 4?
Yeah, and that's fine. And then that shows they have the same gradient. So how do you then show that they are the same straight line and not just two different lines? What do you have to point out?
Is it
So you could just have like two parallel lines with the same gradient. How do you know that it's, the same straight line?
do you have to draw a graph or something? Or?
You have to find a common point. So what point do both of those line segments go through?
Like 4, 4.
Yeah, B. And there's B in the middle. And so you have to say the gradient of AB is equal to the gradient of BC, and B is a shared point.
Right.
B is a shared point, and it's a show that question. And so lastly, therefore, same straight line or whatever, just copy and paste from the question.
Yeah.
Points A, B, and C can be joined by a straight line. Yes. So you have to not only show that the gradients are the same, but that they both pass through a common point, both of those line segments. Any questions about that?
No.
Oh, let's see this one. Man, I'm just punishing you. Given the gradient is that, find the value of k. Find for the line through the points A and B. I think you'd be fine for that. I think you'd be good. And this one, yeah. Okay, let's do this one last. How about this one?
Okay, so isn't that the same? Isn't that the same as they're on a straight line? They're on the same line.
Correct, yeah.
So do I just need to do 4a minus 2a over? Oh no, it's meant to be 4a minus 5. I think. Minus 5a over 0 minus 2a is equals to a minus 4a over 6a over 6a minus 0, and then so minus.
I don't think you need to simplify it. You've already said they're equal.
Okay, so, and then do I just need to say that B is a shared point, therefore they are collinear?
Yes, so I think you just need to spell out what does this show up here?
So the gradients for AB and BC are the same.
Yes. Yeah, so M of AB is equal to M of BC. Well, gradient is even better. Therefore, collinear.
Yeah.
There we go. Great, you destroyed that one. And then this one, that's just more of the same. That could be the test if there was time. So let's see. So gradient. Let me just check. Gradient of y-intercept. Oh, what's that? Wow. We're really just doing exam questions. So this was the previous one that the calculator would help with. Straight lines. So gradient, you're good. Just use the calculator for everything. That's your working out, and then the answer is when you put it in the calculator. Yes, I'd practice with solving the equations in the calculator. So like, you have to use X. It only has one letter, X. The graphical calculator has everything.
Yeah.
Has the full alphabet instead of A. So just construct the equation, then put it in and solve the equation. Just put in shift solve. These gradients, the reason why I did that one was because I knew we'd need it for the end, or I suspected we would. This one, same thing. Get good with that calculator, and so you don't have to mess around with denominators and stuff. Although you're pretty good with them. That's the same thing, is it? That's the same thing, except it's an exam question. This one, yes. Remember we got this, they thwarted us, and we got this inexact answer.
Yeah.
And so we had to do it manually. I realized actually they give you the inexact answer. Oh, did I not print it out? Oops, I didn't. Should have printed it. If you press, once you get that, if you press answer equals, it comes up as the exact answer.
Right.
And my one came up as 25 over 19. So actually you just press answer equals, and it just shows you like what your last answer was.
Okay.
Let's see. That was fine. This one, yes. Sub into one equation. If there's two unknowns, try the other. I thought it might be simultaneous equations, but it wasn't. How do you show that 2 points are on the same straight line?
You just need to. Don't you need to just find the gradient of AB, a BC, and then say that the gradients are equals of these two, and then say like B is a shared point, therefore they are collinear or whatever.
Yeah. I'd be so happy if you could do part A of this with your calculator. So first construct the equation and then try it with the calculator. So try this one.
Yeah. Okay. So 6 minus k plus what? I'm just writing out. I'll do it in the calculator in a second, and then over 3k minus 2 minus 2.
Mm-hmm.
And do I need to put that into a bracket or not really?
What goes in the bracket?
3k.
No.
Oh,
3k minus 2. Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize that's right. So 3k minus 2. Yeah. And then minus 2. Anything else need to be in the bracket?
I think three. Sorry, k plus 1 probably needs to be in the bracket as well.
Yeah.
Okay. And so
You don't have an equation yet? Or, okay.
sorry, equals to is that not the figure out k gradient? Oh, equals to minus a half.
Yeah. So try putting that in your calculator.
Yeah. So
And you don't press equals. If you're not sure, just stop and ask.
I got x is minus 6. K, sorry, is minus 6.
That equals minus over 2 shift solve. Lucky 7. Roll the dice. K is minus 6?
Yeah.
Yeah, great. I'm happy there. So, yeah. And especially, so these ones, it's not too bad. You could probably do it. But especially as they get trickier, you've got all sorts of stuff that comes up, exponentials, logarithms. If you're good at just make the equation, solve the equation, you get it. 3 marks, no more than that. Yeah, how was that for you, Andrey?
Yeah, that was good, thank you.
So gradient takes a half or tick.
A tick.
So there was also more to it than just gradient. There's also putting stuff together, but I've just kind of stacked all the possible exam questions together and just going through them that way. How's maths in school going?
I think I'm all right at maths. Just that the people there are a lot better. So yeah.
Oh, like the competition is harder, is it?
Yeah, it's a lot more difficult at this school.
Yeah. It's and that's true with A level, because it's like with GCSE it's like every boy and girl in the country, whereas with A level it's like only the ones who are good at maths.
Yeah.
And so that's the the problem with it as well.
Yeah.
Do you want to continue on to the next thing next time?
Yes, please.
All right. Any questions for me in general?
I don't think so.
All right. Well done, Andrey. Did great. And yeah, say hi to Jana for me.
All right.
All right. Have a good one. Goodbye.
All right. Cheers. Bye.